Hi everyone, welcome to another exclusive video. This time I'm going to be taking you on a walkthrough of a 3D model that I made for Reject Convenience, who is another creator making data and privacy videos over on YouTube. So he sent me his model that I can use for scale and as kind of like a template to see how everything fits together. It's all fairly simple. I'll be using like a low poly technique similar to the one I used for my character in the previous video. And then once I finish the model, I will send it to him and he can do whatever he likes with it. So to start off, I imported my images as references to Blender, and then I rotated and moved them around just to fit the side and back so I had the reference for the model. Now, if you've ever animated or modelled anything in Blender, you'll probably notice that I did this in the 2D animation tab. I'm not quite sure what happened when I first started Blender, only that it looked like this. And I also had the auto keyframe on, which again was an absolutely terrible idea. And throughout the next 3 models in the videos, you'll probably realise that I have no idea why keyframes are being made in the timeline as I move everything around. But we live and we learn, and it took me 3 models to not do this. So I'm looking forward to making more, but back to this one. As I start out with all my models from the tutorials I've watched, I'm starting out with a rounded cube that I then scaled to my image. I'm keeping them fairly spherical. I'm not doing too much to change like the jawline or make it shaped like an actual skull, because Reject Convenience has a circle for a head basically. Make it nice and easy and trying to keep in with that style that he's gone for. I then erased half of the sphere and added a mirror modifier, and then I turned on X-ray to be able to select all the way through when I was making adjustments. I cannot tell you how many times I have selected something, moved it, and then realised that I didn't have X-ray on, so it only selected like the front half, and then I had to go back and redo everything. Now with the head sorted, I then used the knife tool to create the edge of the hat and was just making sure that I got it along the side and the back to connect with this mirror modifier. Another hot tip, which I tend to forget like 90% of the time, is to have clipping on when you first add the mirror modifier, because otherwise you'll get weird bits where they clip through each other, they won't join up, and it's a bit of a nightmare until you remember what the reason is. So very important to have clipping on. I then like to select individual points to improve the positioning of the hat, and I then switch to face selection from vertex mode, so I could then select the hat area of this head. I then pressed Shift D to duplicate that area, and previously I had been using my screen tablet to drag points around, but I like to use my mouse for this bit because I can click without it moving too much. And then I use P to turn it into its own object. Now the hat is its own object, and then want to add some extra details with the knife tool around the edge of the hat, and then adjust the points to make it smoother. Selecting the band faces and hitting S to scale it up, and then E to extrude. This just gives a little bit more thickness to the band around the hat, and obviously make sure the mirror modifier clipping section is on before you extrude. I then added a solidify modifier and adjusted the thickness just to see what it would look like. Now it's from this point that I start to incorporate sculpt mode into my process. I love using it when I'm animating in 2D in Blender, and there's loads of little helpful tools and stuff that I use with the later models that I'm definitely going to be carrying forward. And I'm just using them here to expand the top of the hat and make the back of the hat bigger so there's enough space for the hair that I want to use. And just to clean up, I went back to the head object and selected the hat line that I had made previously with the knife tool and dissolved those edges. Back to the head, I then selected faces that will be used for the hair, duplicated those, and then used P to make sure it's its own object. I started with selecting individual vertex points to form the edges of the hair, and I'm going for like a skater boy spiky look. And then adding in extra points with the knife tool. And then selecting points and pressing F on the keyboard just to add in an extra face. A lot of this was personal preference and adjusting it to what I thought looked good. You can sit there for hours and adjust the hair over and over again, and I think I spent between 45 minutes to an hour on this section. I then added a solidify modifier to make it look thicker. Sometimes I would turn this on and off just to see how it was looking, but then go back to the original and continue to edit. I then moved to edge select. So instead of vertex or face, I moved to that one. And then I started extruding the edges to bring them up. And I wanted to create like a hollow shape for the hair. And then making sure that I selected certain points and used F to create the faces and get a better shape. I then started to use sculpt mode with the draw and grab tools to adjust them and make sure the hair actually fit under the hat and that there wasn't too many obvious gaps when I rotated the model. I did struggle a lot with the vertices and edges intersecting into each other, which needed adjustment. With this only being my second model and needing to finish them one per day because I was on a very tight timeline, I later realised that I had applied the mirror modifier and then made more adjustments with a new mirror modifier, but I didn't delete one side of the model like I should have done, so it could mirror without doing weird things and showing up, and it took me so long to realise. Honestly, having a few days break from my first model and starting this one, I felt like I had forgotten absolutely everything I did. Even though it had only been like a day or two since I'd finished it before I started this one, there was lots of sighing and going back to tutorials to work out what was going on and why it had kind of seemed easy in my first model, but now I literally woke up and felt like I was Gandalf saying I had no memory of this place. Finally, I started on the torso, which I later remade a bunch of times. I had been going for almost 2 hours at this point. I accidentally deleted the back of the torso, and there's not much audio other than a lot of sighing, but this is probably where I would have taken a break. But again, time crunch. I started the torso again, and again. In this version, the sleeves were a little cubey, even though I eventually remembered to inset the selection and use loop tools to make a circle. And then tried to make a circle for the hands, but I ended up just using an actual rounded cube and merging the two with the Boolean modifier again. I remembered to add extra points to the elbows for bending. I then felt like I started to get back into the flow with the legs, using a cylinder and mirror modifier again, but then I found the trousers were really oddly difficult to get how I wanted them. I think it was probably because I was trying to follow my drawing, where the legs were slightly bent, but they shouldn't have been, and I should have tried to make them straighter in the model, because then you can bend them when you start to rig and everything. But that was a problem for later me. I then applied the mirror modifier on the leg, and there were lots of adjustments to the trousers and the foot. After applying that mirror modifier, I then added a new one, and in mirror object selected body. So I then had 2 legs that I then applied the mirror modifier to. Hiding the torso, it was then much easier to connect the tops of the legs. And then obviously I had to redo the shirt again because I didn't like it. Now overall I'm actually really pleased with how the head, the hat and the hair turned out. I was very impressed with myself and my skills after I struggled through the rest of it. For some stuff to improve for the next model, I feel like I should have made the wrists smaller where they met the hands. And I could have added the design on the t-shirt from the original drawing, either with the knife tool or in the texture, if Reject Convenience wanted to add that. Obviously, I'm making this well after these models have been completed, and he decided to just go with a block colour option, which is also very cool. If you want to see these 3 models in action, they are in his latest video, which is on his channel, and I'll put like a little preview of that up here. Now onto the next model, which I believe I ended up chatting through a lot more because I felt a little bit more confident with the process once I had finished this one.